Oh, so now it's recording. I see how it is. Welcome back to the Panther Soccer Podcast, episode 4. We're on 4, right?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. The Oh my gosh, I forgot what player wears number 4. The Denise Carmar and I am really bad. I'm so sorry, Denise. Oh, I fudged up your name so bad.
Oh, that was a
Wait.
slaughter.
Yeah, but anyways, so since she's an incoming freshman, we know absolutely nothing about her other than her player profile that you can't really see. I'll put it up on the video version. I need to stop saying that. But all we know about Denise is that she's a midfielder, according to her player profile. She's from Norco High School in Riverside, California. So we know that much about her. But the thing I always question is how does the coaching staff like recruit players? Like what could like because it's I'm sure it's not that hard to recruit players from Iowa and like southern Minnesota or like Chicago area. Well,
Yeah.
Chicago's a hotbed for players, so I hope we recruit well from there. But like my question is how do we get players from like Minnesota or Texas or like not Minnesota? I just said how do we get players from California? Like Matty Eastis is a perfect example of that. Like where in the budget do we have for us to fly over to California and be like, hey, you want to come to University of Nothing Impossible and play in a small town in the Midwest where it snows? And I don't know. I think it's really cool though that we're able to get players from I don't know out of the Midwest into UNI because like it
Yeah.
definitely brings in a different I don't know just a different group of players. And yeah, I'm rambling at this point. And I guess Cheeto wants to be a part of the episode today. Look at that.
Yeah.
But anyways, what's our topic for this week, Spencer? Not this week. There's 2 episodes a week now. What's our topic for this lovely Monday episode, a whole week before we play Iowa State?
Well, I lost the show notes, I'm not gonna lie, but if I remember right, we are talking about some less than satisfactory fan encounters that we've had in our time. Is that right?
I'm I'm titling the podcast "Are Soccer Parents Getting Out of Hand?" But
I know you sent this to me, but I cannot find it.
oh no. But anyways, let's just go into like the stories that we've had. I think we're allowed to say school names, but we're not allowed to talk about certain. Yeah, we'll talk about certain encounters that we've had, unfortunately, throughout our time. You want to start with the Missouri State mom? Oh
Yeah. So
no!
this is from this past season, so this would be fall of 22. Our second season our first technically season as an official club, but our second season going to the games. Um, we were hosting Missouri State, who I believe was at the top of the conference. Um, at the time, I don't know. They hung out.
Second
Yeah,
at the time behind Valpo.
yeah, that would check out. um,
Wait, maybe they were first. Ah, my bad. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
no worries. Anyways, we're the top one, two, or three team. I mean, they were hanging out there pretty much all season. Um, uh, and it's like okay, let's actually start here. Before the game starts, we have a Missouri State mother who walks up to us, or she's walking behind us, probably going to or from the bathroom. Um, and she's like, "Oh, guys, you woohoo, make some noise!" And we're like, "Okay, cool." We get that from some away fans from time to time, and it's good. They're like, "Oh, it's cool that people are supporting the sport," and so we've had those numbers of interactions, so I really didn't think anything of it. Teams take the field. Missouri State starting on our end, of course. Um, and I really do forget. Are we allowed to say names, player names?
We probably shouldn't talk about Camille Day, but
There's
shoot,
this.
her name.
There was a certain goalkeeper on Missouri State's team, a starting goalkeeper that may or may not be named Camille Day. And anyways, so they're walking on the field. We do our regular left, right. I'm pretty sure we did that.
Not for the
And
first half. We usually do that for the second half, but we always do the, hey, everyone, the goalkeeper's name is Camille. Can I get a hi, Camille? Hi, Camille. Like we all do it. Yeah, at the same
yeah,
time. Yeah.
so we did that to start the game. And a few seconds later, I kid you not, so we stand on the fence, maybe I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 10 yards away from the touch line or the end line. Oops. And then I kid you not, uh probably less than 30 seconds after we say hi, Camille, this Missouri State mom walks up in between like me and Brady and a few others, like not in between all of us at once, but like she puts herself in between two of our members, and we stand like almost shoulder to shoulder. So like she kind of wedges herself in, and we are like, what is going on? Um, and then she starts chewing Brady and I out. She's like, "You do not talk to my daughter like that. You will not distract her from her gameplay." And the game's kicked off at this point, and so we're trying to do our cheers to start the game. we're trying to we're trying to make sure that this mother is being all cornered, and basically she gets a little mad, and Camille turns around because she's overhearing this conversation of us getting chewed out for literally nothing. And Camille's um going to your mom like she's telling us to cut it out basically, or telling her mom to cut it out. She's like, "Mom, go away, leave us be." um And before I comment on what happens after that, Brady, do you want to fill in on your perspective of that?
All I remember was we did our hi, Camille, and yeah, next thing I know, this mom is like trying to like talk to all of us individually, not individually, but like trying to like figure out who's leading this section. And while she's doing that, I'm starting a different chant, like, chanting "Let's go Panthers" or something like that. And, to distract everyone from her and to basically tell her to, and not really directly telling her, but informally telling her, hey, get away from us, please. This is, I don't know. Like I was uncomfortable, like, but yeah, no, you can finish the story.
Yeah. So basically that interaction happens, and she spends the rest of the game kind of side-eyeing us and allegedly taunting our own keeper, Caitlin, which I could just that's so funny to me to imagine. But a couple weeks after this game, maybe a week and a half or so, um, you and I was actually doing a whole bell pouring ceremony for the Campanile bells, and I'm wearing this UNI soccer sweatshirt and walking around just to see these bells because it's cool. Anyways, Mark Nook is there, and Mark Nook, for those of you who don't know, is our president, and he shows up to uh probably the majority of the soccer games. Like it's definitely more than half. Um and anyway, so I say, "Hi Mark," and his wife Cheryl's there. So I start talking to them. Um they're like, "Oh yeah, how's the soccer team doing?" It's like, "Oh, I think they were just playing at Drake early that week." So I just told them that result, and then I talked to them about Missouri State because they were there for that game. And they told me that this mom walked up to them. They're sitting in a golf cart at this game because it's pretty freaking nice out. She walks up to this golf cart where our president of the university is sitting with his wife, trying to enjoy some soccer. And um, she goes, she says something along the lines of, "That student section is terrible. You should be embarrassed." And like, she doesn't know who he is. But she basically was like, "You should be embarrassed and ashamed of this student section." And I'm like, they were telling me this, and I was just cracking up. I was like, "There's no way." There, so we got complained about to the president of our university by Camille's mom. Oh, it's just, like you can't make that up. You just cannot.
No, no, you can't. I feel like, I'm not even gonna blur out Camille's name at all during editing because we did, through the PSP Instagram account, we did like apologize to Camille, being like, if we did something wrong, please let me know. Like, because we don't want, because there have been incidences of us crossing the line with certain things. Like the South Dakota game comes to mind when I I hate how you and I repost this photo for like promotions for the game because some of the photos they use were of the students that definitely crossed the line. They like started hitting on the players, which is like, dude, if you go to a sporting event, don't, I don't know, be there to support your team, not to hit on the players. That's so gross. Like, I don't, that's a whole, that,
Absolutely.
sorry, that's a podcast for another day. And it gets me fired up because it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
But like, if we were doing that, oh yeah, no, I would want Amon to yell at us. But what we were doing was literally saying hi and doing a left right chant. Like, doesn't she want her daughter to feel welcomed at away games? Like we're saying
Yeah.
hi. I don't understand. But anyways, yeah, we apologized to Camille through Instagram DM, and basically her response was, "There's nothing to apologize for." She just over exaggerated and was basically trying to protect me. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair. I totally get that. Like in her defense, it's like she might as well stop it right then and there. Like be like, hey, you guys aren't going to cross this line. And if you do,
Yeah.
like, I will like come at you and yell at you. Like, I kind of get that part, but her approach was just, and for her
Yeah.
to go around the field the rest of the game and basically like, I don't know, just even harass like the people trying to enjoy the game, like our president. Like, that's just a Karen mode right there.
Hmm.
I don't I don't get what her thought process was after our interaction with her, but like trying to interact with like the president and like, oh, remember at the end of the first half, she like tried to help us move all of our stuff to the other side. And I
Yeah.
literally yelled out, hey, do not let her touch anything because like I don't know what she's gonna do.
Hmm.
Our interaction with her at the beginning of the first half was terrible. And
Yeah.
all I could know is that she could like drop the drum on purpose or like do something to damage our property. Like
Hmm.
I literally was like, no, ma'am, I am not letting you touch our gear because like after that horrible interaction with her, like yeah, I'm rambling at this point, but
Yeah.
no, yeah, but I feel like that cannot compare to the Drake dad.
Oh man.
Oh, I hate talking about the Drake game or the Drake playoff game from 2 years ago because that
Yeah.
I shouldn't say hate talking about it. It was a great game,
Was a
and
good game.
yeah, you and I had a really I was about to say good team, but they were decent. I in comparison to last year, I think last year's team would have beaten our team from 2 years ago. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say. Like I felt like our yeah, I feel like our chemistry got a lot better that second year of us going to games. But anyways, yeah, yeah, I'll never forget before the Drake game, we were like lined up behind the net for warm up. Some of the players were talking to us from Drake, being like, wait, you guys actually show up and care? Like, we're like, oh, yeah. And they're like, well, what do you guys do? And we're like, oh, try and get into the goalkeeper's head, this, that, and that. And then the Drake dad comes up and I think I told them the story about what we did for Maddie, the SIU goalkeeper. And yeah, the Drake dad comes over and just starts, and he was standing there the whole time while we were talking to them. And in my mind, I'm like, this guy's being creepy. Like, and he starts yelling at us and threatening us. And I don't want to go too deep into the story because, like, there are some things that he said were very vulgar and probably shouldn't be said on YouTube.
Yeah.
But my gosh. Oh, and then you want to talk about what happened in the second half of that game, if you remember correctly?
Let's see if I remember. The second half towards the end.
Like how we went because after the like right before the game started, we were told to move because like
Right. Right.
which I'm sorry, what we've always been behind the net every game, and I get it's
Yeah.
the Cedar Valley soccer complex they played the playoff game at, so I guess the field's a little different. Like there's no
Hmm.
fence there,
Yeah.
but
In hindsight, I think we should have held our ground until the center ref came over.
yeah, oh,
Uh,
100%.
yeah, because like I I have no qualms with our refs. You know, a bad call here and there, sure, but they're humans, so
Yeah,
uh I respect our refs. But the guy who was being a spokesperson was maybe even not part of the refing crew. And so I was like, in hindsight, I wish we should have just held our ground and be like, just send over your center, like no big deal.
yeah, exactly. But Do you remember what happened when we tried to move back?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he came back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This dad, he would not let up. And as Brady said, he said some things that you never really think to hear at a soccer match unless you're like overseas. Then it's probably pretty common. But
I
I was just like, you can't just enjoy the game. It was early, a Sunday morning. It's like probably
9
not even, yeah,
a.m. kickoff.
yeah, it's like not even 10 o'clock. It's late October. It's rather cold outside, actually.
That was brutal. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
And it's like, you should be happy that there are other people than just you here. But nope.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand his thought process. Like I get if you're trying to like protect your daughter, but it's another thing like before the game even starts to yell at us, and then for him to go out of his way when we move back, because it literally wasn't his problem, like at all. Like like in his I'm just curious on what his mindset was after he yelled at us, like, oh, I'm such a big man. I just yelled at 13. We did not have a big student section that day. I
No.
just yelled at 13 college students and I forced them to move and made them shut up. Oh, I'm a big man on campus. Like, what is your mindset like after you just yell at us? And like,
Yeah.
I don't know, because like him yelling at us had no impact on us moving at all. Because I remember even like after the spokesperson talked to us like at the beginning of the second half, I'm like, hey, we're not going to move until he moves because this dude's fired up. Like, I don't know what he's about to do. He already threatened me before the game. I don't want to deal with this. And freaking Nathan Borman, and of all people, the cutie pie himself, literally like was face to face with this guy. And was like, hey, it's no big deal. Just chill. Like Nathan, he risked his whole life right in that moment to calm this Drake dad down.
Yeah.
But I just, I don't get why soccer parents, I get if you're passionate about your team, but if it's your child playing, if it's your like, I feel like, how do I word this? When you show up to your child's sporting event, you're representing your family. You're representing not only the child that you have on the field, but you're also representing yourself and your family. If you look bad, it makes the player on the field look bad. It's kind of how I view it. And it's just, I don't know, it's mind boggling that parents behave like this at soccer games. Like, I'll never forget the time when, this is, oh Lord, back when I played U12 soccer. I had a parent, oh my gosh, backtrack. My team was terrible. Like between the fall and the spring, we played 26 games and we won maybe five. It was
Oh
really
no.
bad. But anyways, there's this one game, and backstory, we had one good player on the whole team. And this dude was like 6'2" playing U12 soccer. Like very noticeable.
Yeah.
After he scored the first goal of the game, this dad runs onto the field and starts screaming at the ref, like during the, directly after the goal, being like, check this kid's birth certificate, check this kid's birth certificate. There's no way he should be playing U12. And I'm just back there in goal thinking, we're down 3-1. Why does it matter? Like,
Yeah.
and what do you have to gain from lying about your age, especially at that level of soccer? And
Yeah.
then the rest of the game, every time like the kid was touching the ball or whatever, he starts chanting birth certificate, birth certificate. And I'm like, my dad like was pissed. I'm glad
Oh,
my dad's the type of person that would like confront people like that, but I'm very thankful he didn't that day. Love my dad. Um, but yeah, it's like, what are you gaining from this? What are you gaining from being toxic at your own children's sporting events? And not only that, but like, I hate calling out people's dads, but at the Indiana State game, uh, this past, yeah, last year, when it was us two that went to Indiana State, I'll never forget one of the, I hate calling out UNI parents. I'm sorry, UNI parents. 50% of the viewers here are UNI parents, and I'm sorry, but there was one parent that like after her her after his daughter made a like it was a minor mistake that didn't have any like impact on the game. Like she lost control of the ball. No big deal. Her teammate even got it after she like lost the ball. But yeah, he starts cursing out, being like, "What the f?" Insert name here. I think you know what player I'm talking about.
I do,
Yep.
I do.
Yeah, and starts cursing out, and then I'm literally like, "Hey, yo, like chill. Like we have the ball back, and she'll do better next time." I literally even like cheered out, "It's all right." Insert name here. You'll do better next time. Like I literally yelled that, and he points at me like, "You stay out of this. This is my daughter. I can say what I want." I'm like, "You need to chill." Like what? Be positive. Like I feel like if a parent is mad at their ch- children playing, all it's going to do is cause them to build up anxiety and be like, "Oh, if I make another mistake, like I'm going to get yelled at again." And that's just going to build up anxiety and just a lot of stress. And it's going to
Mhm.
cause them to make more mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're a parent for a reason. There are coaches for a reason. Let the coaches deal with their mistakes. Don't coach from the sideline. That drives me insane. That has driven me insane my entire life. Like, let the coaches do their job. They are. I'm not me calling out Bruce's salary. Bruce is getting paid $40 million a year for a reason. Imagine.
I would be livid if he was getting paid 40 million and we were getting the results that we were getting. I feel like get this guy out of here.
No, Bruce does a good job. I think I don't know. I like Bruce. I don't.
That's good enough for me. I don't know.
Granted, we don't know any different. I mean, he
Yeah,
did coach at Creighton at one point. I don't know if you knew that.
yeah.
Creighton is usually top 50 in both men's and women's for soccer. And I know when Creighton played in the Missouri Valley for women's, I know they made the NCAA tournament on a regular basis. Like they dominated our conference. So thank goodness we don't have to deal with Creighton anymore.
Yeah. Or
No,
Loyola Chicago, but we could talk about that another day.
I mean, it's yeah. I don't know how to word this, but uh Loyola, them leaving the conference was probably the worst thing that could have possibly happened to them. Like, I don't know if you paid attention to their record at all, but
Uh-uh.
I guess I didn't really pay attention to their women's soccer team, but I'm pretty sure their men's basketball team only won 3 conference games
Oh gosh.
because they
Oh
play in
gosh.
the Atlantic 10, I believe, which is a pretty solid mid-major conference for a lot of sports. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they had a losing record in conference play.
That oh,
Really shows how weak the Missouri Valley Conference can be. But
in basketball only.
oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest here. When our conference champion loses 6-1, was it 6-1? I think they scored one.
At least.
It was 6-1. It was like 3-0 after the first 19 minutes. Like, uh
Dang it, Arkansas.
yeah. Because that was, yeah, Arkansas, Missouri State. I can't believe Missouri
All
State won the conference last
right.
year.
That should have been ours. We can
We
gripe about it another day, maybe.
no, we're
You
talking
want to
about
go
it
for it.
today because we're only like 15 minutes in. We're talking about it today. It was right there in the palm of our hands. We just had
Oh,
to beat Missouri State. Granted, Missouri State was the best team in our conference, but with Valparaiso losing to Murray
dude.
State, a team that we beat 3-0,
Oh my
it was right
gosh.
there in the palm of
Yeah.
our hands to win the conference.
We so had it. Yeah, I just can't let it go. Every time we talk about it, it's just like we would have had it. There's no way I hear any case against us losing to Missouri State. I know we win that game. We 100% win that game if we make the finals. Um, Maybe there is merit to Murray State beating Valpo, but I don't know. Lost to Missouri State. We beat it was ours. We That's why they got to make up for it this coming fall. I was like, there's no way because we were talking through all the situations, and we're like, I mean, even if we beat Missouri State, we were putting in Valpo to face us. We're like, There's because there's no way Missouri State was going to win that game, but then they did, and I was like,
You mean
that was
Valpo
it.
or Murray State? Yep, you're right. My bad. I
Yeah,
thought you said Missouri State. I'm like, but no,
and
yeah.
then they won, and that was it. And I was like, that was our championship. But we wouldn't have been there, so maybe they'll win if we're there in person this year.
If you want to talk about, we have we're approaching we're approaching like 5 minutes left. So, you want to talk about the scenario that you personally want for the end of the season? Like we've talked about this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Please tell the viewers what you personally want out of the team.
So I've done some thinking, and um, I will accept nothing but a playoff spot, and I would very much prefer a top four seed, but we cannot place second in the conference. That is, we just cannot. That is unacceptable. I would rather not make the playoffs than be second in the conference. that, that might be a slight exaggeration, but let me explain why we cannot place second in the conference. If we place top four, that gets us a bye, no
At
matter
least
where we
one. At
place
least one.
top four. We place top two, we get 2 rounds of bye, which, by the way, is so unfair. But that's just the way our tournament is organized. We place top four, we get a bye. Top two, we get buys. We place top four, we get at least one home playoff game, except the number two seed. The number two seed does not host a single playoff game. That is BS. I do not want to do any traveling for our playoff games this year. We will get number one in the conference in the regular season. We will play our games right here in Cedar Falls, and we will win the conference tournament. It's that simple. If I were the coach, this is what I'd be telling the players. Like, if we don't get a championship, we're cleaning house. All players are gone. Anyways, on a more serious note, yeah, second place does not host any playoff games. So I would like to see a home playoff game, because not only do we get to see you and I play, we get to see the seeds below us play, and that'd be just kind of a treat to just kind of sit back and relax and watch two conference teams play on our home turf. So second place is unacceptable. I'll take first, third, or fourth though, but mostly first.
I love that. If we finish second, clean house, get rid of all the players. Oh no. Go through our rebuildings,
After placing second.
Oh no. Jeez. I was so tempted to tell you who our guest star is for episode 5, but
Hmm.
yeah, I know. I know. I'm sorry, Spencer.
Oh.
Uh oh, I want to give a hint. I shouldn't though, because I feel like a
Give me
hint would
a
be
give me a field possession. Is that too obvious?
no, not really. Forward.
Okay.
Any guesses?
Well, I gotta lock in our star player, Morton Heinz.
All I'm gonna say it's not her, but
Okay. I do
yeah,
have two other guesses, but
just send them to me over Snap. But anyways,
yeah,
any last words?
yeah. Uh no second place.
Oh no. Oh, bro, if imagine if we finish second and Drake finishes first. I mean, granted, easy traveling to
Yeah,
away game to the away games.
yeah.
However, I will not sit there in the stands and be like, dang, Drake is number one. I
There's no way they place number one. I wonder if we could find the preseason polls, because well, we could preview the season as a whole at a later date, but it'd be
oh,
interesting because we were kind of placed low last year, but also that's exactly where we ended up. So,
what do you mean? We finished top four.
well, in the postseason.
It depends on how you look on it at it, but we finished top four. You
Yeah.
cannot deny that.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Oh no, I feel like I'm gonna get yelled at by not yelled at, but one of the players is going to message me being like, you complained about us finishing last year, even though I'm trying to be supportive. I promise. Top four. They finished top four last year, and they're going to finish number one this coming fall. Oh no, I jinxed it. Oh well. But
Well,
anyways, we need to wrap things up. Next Monday's episode, we'll preview the Iowa State game, and that episode will be released at noon so that it's well before Iowa State and UNI play, so that people actually see the podcast, and then so forth. And then, yeah, episode 5, we'll have the special guest star of insert player name here.
oh no.
All right. Anyways, you guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on Thursday.